Let's see who the hell is on up on this biatch. Oh man! Shout out to everybody slowly coming into the chat room, man. Yeah, man. Your boys gotta get a little more regular with this shit, man. But it's just so hard to get back into the groove when you've been gone for so long. But I'm fitting it in, man. I'm pushing shit to the side. I'm pushing things to the side. I'm creating those lanes for me to be regular with this, man. There are a lot of people who, have gotten used to just being able to pull up on your boy, man. And, I got to really get back into this. And they really been, slowing my, my, not slowing, but more or less just like redirecting my focus, redirecting my focus. And I'm the type of dude, like, I'm not going to ask somebody to leave once they here. And if you're a guest and you're here, I got to focus on you, right? Because I mean, you're at my spot as a young lady, so I can't really just be like leave her at the computer or leave her at the TV and just go do me. You know, that's inviting problems. That's inviting problems. So shout out to everybody slowly in the chat room right now, man. Let me know what you're trading in the chat room. King AJ, Darth Kermit, salute. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the room right now, man. Shout out to everybody joining me in the room right now. I appreciate all of you guys here. Let me know what you're trading. Let's talk about it. Okay, let me know what you're trading and let's talk about it. Let me see if my thing is working here.
Get out of here, you damn nigga!
Okay, yeah.
Get out of here, you damn nigga!
Oh, damn shit.
Get out of
Okay.
here,
Whoa,
you
whoa,
damn
whoa.
nigga! Get out!
Whoa, okay. All right. I gotta turn the repeat off. I don't know how the repeat turned on there. Demonetize my damn video before I even started. Yeah, what's going on, Blue Cousin? Appreciate you guys being in here. US 30. You know what? I found it very interesting that you guys who are trading US 30 because I know that's a Forex product and it trades very close to, if not very similar to the way the SPX, SPY trades. Uh, Obviously, I know why you're trading it on the foreign exchange market as a derivative because you're not party to the what is the pattern day trade rule, PDT rule. That used to be a big deal for myself when I love to day trade or attempted to day trade, more likely, because that's what I was doing. I was attempting to day trade, but the PDT rule just was all up in my ass when you have less than $25,000. This is circa 2017, 2016. It just was very frustrating to get around that. But I know, again, when you're trading on those derivative markets on the foreign exchange platforms, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. Now, the double-edged sword is the fact that you guys get killed on the leverage, because that's how they really get you guys. Is sometimes you get overconfident and they get you when you think you got it in the bag, and then you go a little bit too large into the position, and now you know you're giving back significant losses. Let me see here. Microsoft and Nvidia continuing their gain here. Got my crossover moving average on the screen, 50 and 100. It's still looking very beautiful on both stocks. No one can say Nvidia is cheap here. That's why I think we're going to start seeing some sideways movement. We're already seeing it here in Nvidia as it struggled in the last, what is that, 8 sessions to go anywhere. So not saying couldn't go higher, but Right now, as you can see over the last, 8 or 10 sessions here, Nvidia's kind of stayed up there. Contrarian, hey man, look, hey, look, when we talk about Generac, look, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. It's beneath, those moving averages, and it's going to go down. That's what you're supposed to do. You know, I brought it to your attention because I believe that this is one of those stocks. It's a great company. It's a very valuable product that they make, and when things turn around, this is a stock that's going to be a beneficiary. Now, the problem is that we are going into a cyclical recession, supposedly, but I mean, as you can see, the jobs number today was actually good. It actually showed that the job market was strong, and I don't understand. And that's why the title of the show the way it is because right now the data is showing that these interest rate hikes aren't working. Okay, it's not working. It's not cooling down inflation, right? People are still hiring like crazy. There's still too much COVID money in the system. There's still way too much COVID money out there. You got a lot of people who got really fucking rich off COVID, and they're hoarding all of this cash and still out there doing incredible things like buying a lot of product, supposedly, because we're not seeing the discounts. We're not seeing the deflationary price action that we need to see when you raise interest rates. We're not seeing it. So when I still watch CNBC and they're talking about, well, the Fed pivot, that's their new phrase right now. Every time it's a new catchphrase. The new catchphrase of the season right now is Fed pivot. Before it was, during COVID, V-shaped recovery. Yeah, they do this every like 90 to 120 days where they come up with this bullshit term, Anyway, it's not working, fam. It's not working, fam. So we're going to see more than likely higher interest rates. That's why it's a really good time if you don't need to take any debt. Don't take any debt, particularly on your credit cards. I just paid off a credit card this past weekend because I saw my minimum payments. I was just using it to keep something on my credit. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to have all your credit cards on zero balances. Throw something on a couple $100 just to pay it. My minimum payment went from like $25 to like $60. I was like, what the hell? What happened to this card? Did I miss a payment or something? But come to find out, it was just some kind of interest rate adjustment. So I just went ahead and took care of it. I'm not going to get that much interest off me. So if you can refrain from taking on some debt right now, refrain from doing that. Refrain from doing that. Maybe you need to calm down on eating out. Maybe you need to, just stick to the rice and beans for a little while till we get past this. Whatever you need to do, because right now this is the time where a lot of people get trapped, where you start taking on credit card debt. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to cut back on your lifestyle, which is actually the right thing to do right now. You want to cut back on that lifestyle, cut back on eating out, cut back on things you really don't need, right? That you can live without, and let everybody around you understand, like, yo, look, we can't do this right now, okay? And people got to understand, I let my girl know, like, yo, and as I mentioned on the last live, like, yo, it's $160 for us to eat out. Like, why the fuck are we spending this kind of money eating out when we can eat at home? And you cook better than these people in here. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. Futures, best product to day trade options on futures as well. No BDT. Okay. Say Africa doesn't want our money. Nobody wants our money anymore. Nobody wants our money anymore. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to get into the mindset that, all shit is going to hell. For some people, it is. For some people, it is, particularly the wealthy elite of this country who have been using the dollar to leverage, or I would say arbitrage opportunity. They've been using the dollar because they've got significant more of it to go into other countries and do all kind of incredible and crazy things like bullying them on a local level or their politics or in many other different ways. So you're not going to be able to see that multinational bullying that has taken place over the last, 60 to 70 years since World War II. You know, you've got certain international conglomerates that have caused wars in different parts of this planet. You go to Goodyear Tire in Liberia. You can go to uh, what gosh, I forgot that company. Standard Oil did out in Saudi Arabia, literally putting this king, the Saudi king right now was literally put in place by an American corporation. You know, an American corporation literally put that family in power. You can go back to in South America where you had, uh, gosh, I forgot the name of that fruit company. Somebody I'm sure knows about that history. But you had a certain fruit company in America literally overturned democratically elected politicians in all across South America. And again, that only happened because you have companies who had, again, they take in dollars through sales here in the US, and they were able to, you know, do all kind of foolishness overseas. That's how you get that. So now these countries are saying, look, United States now is at its weakest point it's ever been. I don't think I've ever seen the United States as weak as as it is now. I mean, we are fundamentally across the board in every measurable economic category at the going in the wrong direction. Debt out of control, lack of trust in basically all fundamental institutions of this country is just, and again, on a social level, on a cultural level, you just see all kinds of disintegration. So these countries are saying, why do I have to be on the tail end of so much damage holding dollars when we can put together something that's going to, not have us be continual slaves to this falling and losing currency? Yes, Adam, thank you. Dole Fruit, correct. Dole Fruit is one of those countries, those international conglomerates. Again, using that dollar to go all across South America to take people out. Literally, they were taking people out. Democratically elected governments paying gangsters and right leaning groups to take out democratically elected leaders all across South America, man. And again, you only are able to do that because you're using that US dollar that gives you that leverage. And people don't want to play that game no more. For a long time, these people have been playing that game, and you're going to see that. You're going to see that as these countries mature and start to say, hey, man, what? We don't need to fuck with these people. The world's getting smaller. Technology's making things easier. Why do we need to fuck with these people? Why not we just create some kind of digital platform to get around these people? And again, unless you're a billionaire yourself, you're probably not going to feel it. You're probably not going to feel it. Think about somebody who lives in South Korea, for example. You live in South Korea, you travel to South Africa, it's 1-for-1. I couldn't believe it. I looked it up myself. It's 1-for-1. So, now, yeah, you could very well be an American who will go to a place like Rwanda, and you're not going to have any leverage, and you're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to deal with that. So let's get back into it, folks. I share a little game with you guys there, but let's get back into the stocks, man. Let me know what you guys are trading. The day traders are very quiet. If you've noticed lately, the day traders are very quiet because it's this is a stock picker's market. It is very, very hard to make money in markets that don't trend, right? when COVID was here and it was just straight up, you saw all the posts on FinTwit. I'm up 20,000 for the day. I'm up 50,000 for the day. You don't see those no more. You don't see those no more for the most part. And if you do see it, it's a motherfucker trying to sell something. You know what I'm saying? And take it for a grain of salt. Take it for a grain of salt, man, because you're not fooling anybody now. Most of us in here, you've been around for a long time. It's very, very, very hard to be a consistently profitable day trader. So you got to take positions that actually grow over time, right? You got to actually do, learn your supports, your resistance, and actually put in capital to sit and ride the waves up and down. You said, nah, man, day trading is paradise. Okay. I mean, let me know what you're doing. Let me know what you're doing. Have I seen Hypercharge on the OTC? It's insane. Huge promotion behind the company. EV charging you do not own. What's the ticker on that? Let me know what the ticker on that is. Lots of traders are using a method called Distract. Let me know what it is. Let me know what it is. I mean, OTC is always going to do its thing, man. OTC ain't going nowhere. But from my past, whether we talking about when I was promoting some of this garbage or when I went to the dark side and started short selling this, the most profitable place to be is either you're pumping it or you do a really good job of trying to catch the top and wait for the fall down. There was a ticker called Humble. Man, made a lot of money off that HMBL. I don't know what it's trading under now, but I put out some videos about Humble. Another great pump that just went to shit. That just went to complete shit. Okay, because it's really hard to ride these up. It's not easy. It's not easy. And what you find is a lot of guys regular traders who made bank in OTC, they almost got it pretty much by accident. If you ever notice, a guy who, he had $50 in there and he sat on it and all of a sudden, he starts running, he logs back into the account and it's at $5,000. His little $50 is turned into quite a sum of money, because it went triple one to, actually quadruple one to triple one. We understand that, penny stocks, OTC, that yeah, you can use very little capital and it can rarely, but it can generate a significant return on relatively very little capital. Yeah, Felix. Nvidia is, you could definitely start selling some of those higher price calls here. You could definitely start selling those higher price calls here. Let me see here. HCNWF. Yeah, see, when you start seeing these, oh man, yeah, that's a great promo. You see, this is a great promo. Something like this, some guys got together before it went this high. And I mean, they're swimming in cash. I mean, they're swimming in cash when they sell into this every single morning. And you better believe they're unloading crazy every single morning. And you just do it over and over and over again. And the guys who are promoting the stock make money too. Guys who are promoting the stock make money too. Stock, there's a big money in stock promotion. Big money in stock promotion. Let's take a look here. SPX contracts at 11 a.m. when it trades for the day. Here's the thing though, but SPX, you got some guys who got burned on SPX today because SPX, people bought into the sell and then they got caught off guard when it bounced very aggressively into the afternoon. very aggressively into the afternoon. Remember, we were red for a significant part of the day. So a lot of guys got burned on that turnaround move. If you remember, let me see, where's the play for today? I mean, we were red. What was that move? Yeah, we were red for quite a bit, and you had some guys buy into this collapse here, and then all of a sudden that bounce was mean, man. That bounce was really, really mean. That bounce was really, really mean. A nice one though. As you see those, they turned on the Jets and kept it going. Shout out to what's going on in Bitcoin, man. I'm following that heavy. Bitcoin almost hit 30,000 today. If not, did touch it, but I think it just touched it. It didn't actually hit 30,000. We got to like 29.6 or something like that. You said SPX. Oh, absolutely. That's why I only trade SPX iron condors. Look on my Twitter. I'm actually in an XPX position right now. I'm in that right now. But again, I only use iron condors for XPX. I would never day trade SPX. Way too much volatility on an intraday basis. You have some guys who are trying to go 0 DTE. I mean, that's insane. I mean, 0 DTE, it works when it works, but when it doesn't, it's horrible. Adam, do you feel like 40, 60, 80 RSI is still relevant in this? Absolutely, because that 40, 60 RSI is going to catch the turnaround. If you look at that 40, 60 strategy, based on John Hayden's book. And again, for those of you guys who don't have the book, email me. I'll give you a copy of the book. John Hayden, the RSI, the guide. And I got a video on that on my channel. Just on my channel, type in RSI. Absolutely. I mean, because everything that is negative within the parameters he set. Things that are positive within the parameters he set. And whatever you're looking at as an underlying, if you're going to catch the turnaround, then those parameters are what you're going to have to look for. You're going to have to look for, those tickers that are breaking out of those, bottom basement RSI levels over a long time frame, like the daily or weekly or whatever chart you trade. Huge coordination. They disclose all the marketing contracts in their PRs. Oh, absolutely. I mean, they have to. Boundless, they have to. They had to. When I used to send those PR reports, yeah, you got to, all the way at the bottom in the small letters, you got to say, hey, I got sent $7,500 to send out this email for the next week and a half. But when you're talking about PR that big, you're talking about guys who are getting $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to send out, tons of letters from different websites, and they've got to coordinate with, multiple different other advertising avenues to get this stock moving. And that tends to mean working with PR agencies that you can buy articles. For example, you can buy your way into Forbes. You can buy your way into a lot of magazines right now, because it's so hard to make money in journalism right now. You can buy an article in Forbes, and you can use that to promote your business, promote yourself, and give yourself some clout. That's a big thing right now on social media, is buying clout by getting yourself into some of these reputable magazines. And you're not necessarily going to be on the front cover. You're not going to even be within the first 200, first dozen or 50 pages. So you'll be in the back column. But the fact of the matter is, you can say, as seen on Forbes. And that's the selling point for a lot of people. Oh, that's what's up, Blue Cousin. Absolutely. That 3% still works. You don't want to take it every single time, but That's a thing that still works that I wish some people took a little more seriously. Strat reversals. I gotta look into this strat stuff because I'm seeing some people, talking about it here just as I go through some of these Twitter comments about it. A Momo strategy. It's by Rob Smith. It reminds me of the Alexander Elder candle method. Shout out to Alexander Elder, man. He's still doing his thing too out here. Let me see here. Bats, you had said something earlier about 150 buying your own food instead of just getting one meal. Yeah, okay, yeah. You were talking about what I was talking about, the food thing. Appreciate you a dose of East Coast. Yeah, man. I appreciate your comment on that. What's going on, Alex? Shout out to Alex. What are you trading right now, Alex? But yeah, going back to what you were saying, Adam. I think we're going back to the fundamentals, man. A lot of guys don't know how to trade in this environment. A lot of guys don't know how to trade. Now, this is a stock pickers market. You actually have to like learn about the company a little bit. You got to actually learn about the company a little bit because even the technicals aren't giving you the clearest signs. You can't look at the last month and a half of trading and say, we've got some clear signs on the direction of the market's basically gone nowhere. We've looked at, QQQ, which I want to say is up what 20% over the last 90 days. 17.95. Okay, 17.95 over the last 90 days. Year to date, 18%. So is that going to hold? Is that going to hold? Still what 6 months? Excuse me, 6 months. We still got 8 months left into the year. Or is that going to hold, or are we going to continue to go lower? Year over year is down 9%. And if we're saying we're going to stay at these levels, then it's going to be a long, boring ass year. If we're going to stay at these levels here, or it could get exciting and we lose another 10% off where we are. And I wouldn't complain. I would not complain from here because I know I'm going to catch that shit just based on some of the basic moving averages that I use here. I appreciate you, King AJ. Yeah, man. I don't want to go into a real estate conversation because it's so different from where we are, but I was really getting excited into the subject to stuff. And then, after COVID happened, no one wanted to really do subject to for the most part, unless you're talking about war zone properties, because I mean, you could just sell the house. I mean, why would you, there was no reason to, you know, go in and sell your current loan on a month to month payment schedule with someone else to assume your mortgage legally. Just go ahead and sell it and cash out. So for a good 2-3 years, those guys who were walking around saying I buy houses, they were looking like complete idiots because why would I sell to you? I can just go straight to the market. And depending on where you live now, you can still just go straight to the market. Why, sell your house to a clown with an email letter or a yellow letter or whatever they're called when you can just go, demand is so incredibly high in your area that real estate has got almost stock market like liquidity. As soon as you offer it for sale, it's gone. You said we've been between 3,800 damn near a year now. Well, actually, I got a post on my Twitter. We actually between, but yes, I agree with a lot of that too. But we basically been between like 36 and 43. Yeah, here's the what I'm following right now, going back to June of last year. And I've been literally doing this same iron condor, just maybe a couple points outside of these levels. We've got some real support here, so it's really attempting something here. Although it's a very ugly looking chart, it's trying. It's trying. Let me get out of this hourly time frame so we can kind of see it a little bit better. But it's trying. It's trying to do something. But it's for the guys who missed the heyday of just up and down, up and down, up and down. It's a struggle for them because they've never seen the market like this. You're buying calls and you're losing shitload of money as the stock goes nowhere, depending on what you're trading. Okay, that's what's up, Alex. That's what's up, man. NIO, NIO has been a real struggle for NIO, man. Anything Chinese, man, I can't touch it, man. Anything Chinese, just can't touch it, man. Because again, you got powers that be that want to go to war with China, man. You got powers that be that just are just not going to allow us to be second to the Chinaman. You know what I mean? They'd rather die to be second to the Chinaman. If that means, risking 10 million young people, they're willing to do that. Seriously, there's some people. You watch some of these C-SPAN things on China. These people, they sound like they're ready to go to war tomorrow. They're ready to go to war tomorrow, and they think honestly, this patty caking that we're doing right now is only making China grow stronger. You got China putting out like a ship a year. It's crazy. The Chinese Navy is damn near as big as ours, if not bigger. You spark a few candles. Okay, huge coordination. Yeah. Okay. So where are you guys hiding at? Obviously, I know some of you guys are just buying hold, so you're just, buying and holding right now. Still disappointed in FRC. Had a trade going out to May. That was a complete failure. Good Lord. And then you got some people who are coming out saying that, there's still damage in the banking sector. But they're not talking about it right now. I don't know what it is. They're not talking about it. At this point, man, they've dumped $30 billion into this bank, and we still don't really know what's going on. Isn't that crazy? It's basically gone away. The conversation is basically gone away. But, just a month ago, we were brink of complete financial ruin, of the financial system. Or at least that's how they made it feel like. And all of a sudden now, oh, we're all okay. But the stocks haven't recovered. The stocks have not recovered. What is it PACW, right? Yeah, PacWest. That's a nice little move there, up 3% today, though, on PacWest. PacWest looking actually pretty good. BYD, you said you would invest in BYD. Oh, this is a Chinese stock? Yeah, I don't know anything about this one. Pretty decent chart, but I don't know anything about it. SoFi is looking good. SoFi is a penny stock, if I remember correctly. The CEO's bought a ton of shares. He's really trying to convince people he's in it for the long run. But SoFi's got some disgusting loan products, man. Looking at SoFi, they got some really disgusting loan products. Meaning, if you understand financial literacy, you don't go to SoFi, man. They've got interest rates that are far, that are basically on I don't want to call it payday loan territory, but very close. Very close. They make it look cool, they make it look hip because they're an online bank, but they're not competitive to your credit union. They're not competitive to even some of these larger banks like Bank of America and Wells Fargo. They're worse. They're putting, but again, go look at the stories online. Go look at the YouTube videos, people saying that they've been screwed over by SoFi. They're trading at $5 for a reason, my man. Is because they target a very, uninformed customer. They make themselves look good, but for the most part, you don't see SoFi going after people who have a lot of high, knowledge of money. So just look into them. Just look into them. So the government's going to bail out banking. Well, again, that goes into our conversation that we're just moving to becoming a communist system at the end of the day. We start bailing out all banks. That's communism. That's communism because we can't. I don't know what it is about this country. We've lost the idea that some people who are rich have to lose. That rich people got to lose too. You can't start a business, make it, and the excuse is, well, they built it so big and we can't. No, like companies all across this nation's history have gone bankrupt. Huge companies. And now all of a sudden it's like we can't take the pain. Like that's crazy to me. It's crazy to me, man. And again, we're seeing it now. We're a situation where people are afraid of these interest rates going up because they don't want to take any pain, man. They'd rather live in a country going through hyperinflation. Folks, we're at 6% month over month. 6% month over month. That's insane for an economy this big. That's insanity. You shouldn't be dealing with that. And again, that's not even real. That's not even the real number. That's the cookie cutter number. And I know it's a lot higher than that. That's to make you feel comfortable number. So they just bought out a big mortgage company in Charlotte and something else here in Charlotte. Okay. Oh yeah, what's going on, Dawson? Yes, sir, man. Combo contracting and tree service. Shout out to you, Dawson, man. I know things are looking up with your business. I agree. Some of the rich have to lose. Their rich politicians won't let them. Well, they bought out the politicians. That's the problem. They bought out the politicians, and that's the problem. And that's why it's really unfortunate because what creates a very healthy society is a changing of the guard. The fact of the matter is that the people who were wealthy 200 years ago weren't the same people who were wealthy 100 years ago. People who were wealthy 100 years ago aren't the same people who are wealthy today. We're looking at a situation now where 100 years from now, the same people could be could be in control simply because they've co-opted government to keep them in control, to prevent them from losing. You need a healthy changing of the guard. As certain industries, certain technologies fall out of favor, those people disappear. Those people disappear. There's a reason why, the guy who created AOL hasn't been heard of in the last 30 years. The changing of the guard. And if we're talking about Tesla and Elon Musk 30 years from now, I think that's a problem. I think that's a problem because there should be somebody somewhere right now in the garage creating a technology that will usurp his in some way or be as competitive as his in some way, because that's natural. And we shouldn't have a government that keeps Elon in charge of the EV race. No, it should be an open market where he gets to lose if his company's losing. But if he's another one who's slowly positioning himself to be so big to where it's not like, oh my God, we can't have Tesla go bankrupt. They've got big factories all over the place. Watch what he's doing too. Don't fall into that line where he's conservative or he's Democrat. All these guys behind the scenes, man, are shaking hands with each other. They're all shaking hands with each other. Okay. Let's go. All right. Still waiting on that BTC lawsuit. That's supposed to be going down with Coinbase. The SEC has yet to drop the filing. They just basically gave them a note, but they haven't dropped the filing yet. At the end of the day, they're going to try to get rid of cryptocurrencies because it's such a threat to what they're putting together. I mean, FedNow is, man, it's going to be such an interesting time, guys, and we're all going to be alive to see it when a digital currency becomes the new way to make money or to move money in America. You've already got so many of these businesses now, though. You'll see the sign, we're a cash-free business. This business is going cash-free. It's crazy, man. Yeah, Combo, it's Terry Julian show. I haven't posted on there at all since I got it, but I will soon. Terry Julian show. But what's not going to change is that at the end of the day is, look, folks, the best way to get ahead in this country is still going to be two ways: to either become an incredibly well-skilled, disciplined, and a high-earning, incredibly skilled provider of whatever that skill is, and a high-earning skill, by the way, or by owning your own business. That's it. You better be the best in that field, that makes a lot of money, or you better just go out and start your own business. Because at the end of the day, this the working for someone, particularly if it's a relatively low skilled job, it's only going to get worse. There's a great book that came out in 2018 called Bullshit Jobs. AI is going to create even more bullshit jobs. Jobs that are simply there to keep you occupied for the most part, just to keep you away from the house or keep you away from your family, keep you away from whatever it is that they want to keep you away from, which is really sitting at home and thinking about how you're getting fucked by your government. But the job is just going to get worse and worse and worse. It's just going to get worse. Only going to get worse, folks. Let me see. I'm always interested in watching the U.S. dollar continue to harass third developing nations on their currency as it still stands. BTC USD. Oh, damn. Okay, shit. We're over 30. Oh, damn. Shout out to me. We're over 30. Okay. I've been going heavy in Bitcoin right now. We're over 30. Shout out to everybody who's in Bitcoin right now, man. Shout out to everybody who's in Bitcoin right now. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to everybody who's in Bitcoin right now. Yeah, they're all still in here. Bats is in here. Yeah, not sure what Ken is doing. Yeah, we gotta get the call in line back up. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But yeah, shout out to Bitcoin doing its thing right now, man. It's really running right now. Shit is running really hard too. Let's take a look. Market is up after hours. China is definitely open. Okay. Ethereum is running right now. Binance Coin, which is freaking scam for the most part. I suspect to be a scam. Yeah, going to start accumulating. Yeah, I've already started on that. Again, when they made that crossover, I started jumping in. I started jumping in on Bitcoin a little bit here. I'm one of those people. I have been made a believer when it comes to Bitcoin. I fought against it for so long because, you're just like, okay, what is this? I mean, if anybody can make it, but then you just gotta understand it's something special, man. It's really something special. It really is something special. It's undeniable. Everybody loves it. Everybody enjoys it. There's nobody who I haven't put on to Bitcoin in terms of opening up a wallet on their phone, gave them a little bit of something, and it just sparks something in you. Like you're just like, oh my God. It just feels good. Bitcoin feels good to earn, to use. It feels good. You said should have done an option on Bitcoin. Or it's only going to get, it's only going to, look, at the end of the day, if you're a believer, which I am, I still believe, again, 6-digit Bitcoin. I still believe that. I still believe 6-digit Bitcoin by the end of the decade, if not before. I was a believer then at 60, even now I'm still a believer. I mean, shit, even when it went to 9 to back to where it is now, well, that was incredible. And don't get me wrong, when it got down to, those damn near touched those single digits, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? What was that low? Actually 15. When did it touch like 9 or something? Okay, yeah, that was September. Yeah, September 2020. Where it got into 9. I was starting to think like, man, it might be over. It might be over for the coin, man. But at the end of the day, it's still here, still strong, still relentless, still got people, standing on corners preaching about it. This is something different. You say I'm also the 5-5 ticket of ties. He's so funny, man. Yeah. He said the bankruptcy guy would call in. Who's the bankruptcy guy? Oh, you talking about the guy from Florida? There was a brother who used to call here from Florida, man, and he always called about penny stocks. And I mean, these were some of the most like sketchiest, like, why are you putting your money into these thing that's not working. At first, I thought he was a troll, but he would call back so regularly. I'm thinking, like, is somebody paying him just to come on my show and say these tickers? Yeah, I forgot his name though. But I have a feeling once I bring back the phones, people like that just kind of pop up when things are kind of back to normal. It's a weird thing. Okay. Yeah, you've already started. I read that. Yep. Yeah, man. Shout out to and Dawson, shout out to you, man. Shout out to all the people who are still out here Uber driving, man. It's not easy. It's not easy out here being an Uber driver. I just saw, somebody got blown in the head. These people are crazy, man. People out here beating up Uber drivers, and then you had an Uber driver that like raped a woman. So you got that too. It's crazy. Yeah. Let's take a look here, see what else is popping out here. U.S. presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says Bitcoin gives the public an escape route for when the bubble bursts. Well, I definitely do believe that. But the problem is that when we've seen when when we've seen the market really sell off aggressively, we've seen Bitcoin move the same way. But then again, that's to be expected because when you have these harsh, hard dumps, people like to liquidate everything they got. You know what I'm saying? It's all about getting into what they know best, which is cash. But things are getting to the point where people say, "Hey, Bitcoin's cash too." Maybe that changes. We saw huge, huge inflows into Bitcoin based on what was going on with these small community banks, where you had some people for the first time, you know, they were able to move into Bitcoin easier than they've moved into anything ever before. All right, because as these banks were selling off, as these people were liquidating their accounts, they didn't want to go buy stock. It's horrible. The returns right now are pathetic. So a lot of them ran to treasuries, and then some of them ran to Bitcoin, and some of them ran to Bitcoin. We saw Fidelity 2 weeks ago come out and say they now have a Bitcoin custodial account. I don't trust it because they're not giving you the opportunity to take possession of that Bitcoin. And all you can do is buy it from them and sell it back to them. You're not selling it to the market, you sell it back to Fidelity. Right? And you cannot take possession of that Bitcoin, meaning you cannot put it on your own wallet, whether physical or on your phone or anything. You just have to keep it in that account with Fidelity. Can I show an option chain for BTC? No, I don't have a broker that has. Yeah, I don't affiliate I have not traded derivatives of Bitcoin in terms of contracts or anything like that. I wouldn't even know who to go through to be able to buy you know a contract on Bitcoin. I wouldn't even know who to go through for that, man, to be honest with you. You still team BBW? Absolutely, man. That's all I mess with for the most part. I'm still African. At the end of the day, man, speaking of BBWs, these folks in Nigeria because 80% of the media that I follow is Nigerian media. Because during the day I watch their movies. It's absolutely hilarious. If you haven't watched some of these Nigerian movies, they're absolutely, because they're trying really hard to do like really cool side of like uh, sci-fi effects and stuff, and they're doing their best, but it's absolutely hilarious. But they put out an image today to some controversy, a Nigerian court of their version of Lady Justice, and it's causing some controversy because they think that the statue is too well endowed. Let me see. Here's the picture of the statue they put out. This is the statue of the Nigerian Lady of Justice. And this is going viral right now on West African Twitter. And this picture doesn't even do the Lady Justice. I mean, the rear end is huge. I mean, you got to understand, this is a statue, and it's making it look very small from where it is. This statue, her behind is probably, your whole chest. I mean, it's really huge. You know, Obviously, you're looking at this statue and you're like, what the hell was this designer thinking? You could tell where his mind was. It's absolutely hilarious. I'll show you the front, but it's just literally all out there too. That's absolutely hilarious. Oh, no user found. What's going on? You say you buy BCH? Yeah. Is that BCH? Are we talking about Bitcoin Cash? I would never trust Bitcoin Cash. GPTC was, that was a little too sensitive for me, boy. This is a move right here. I mean, don't get it twisted. GPTC, I just wish they had some damn options. But this thing right here, boy, woo! When the going is good on GBTC, is good, but when it's bad, boy, that thing moves down real fast. It gets bad. So you're a partner with the business. Yeah, shout out to American Homes for Rent is the company. American Homes for Rent. And these companies, man, they got a lot of homes, man. A lot of these companies have, thousands upon thousands of homes for rent. They're taking an L right now in terms of the trend, just because, interest rates are higher, your costs are a little higher. And it's probably showing up in the books, but at the end of the day, um, these companies will win long term if we continue not to fight back against the hoarding of residential properties. But at the same time, um, they got a lot of things working for them and some things working against them too. Because you get a couple thousand people who are just like, I don't give a fuck, I'm not paying my rent. Things can get really, really ugly. But shout out to American Homes for Rent, man. They're doing their thing. A lot of these companies, BlackRock and all of these other companies that are hoarding. And I think American Homes for Rent is actually, BlackRock is a huge percentage of them. Or I might have them confused with someone else. You say you do their maintenance work? Okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And that's another thing. A lot of these companies too, they contract out maintenance, or different, and they're suppliers too. They got suppliers as well, like all companies do. Like all companies do. Make a lot of money servicing these businesses. For example, I didn't know Home Depot outsources their deliveries. For example, if you order something from Home Depot, the people who come and drop it off to you aren't Home Depot. They're like individual businesses that have contracted with Home Depot to deliver the appliance, set it up for you, and move on. And then Home Depot pays them a portion, or a fixed amount. I didn't know anything about that. MSTR is probably the most undervalued publicly traded company in the crypto space. Yeah, you know what? Michael Saylor, who basically put MSTR, on track to do all of this, he's either going to be an incredible genius or he's going to look like a complete idiot, when this is all said and done. But if he does it right, if Bitcoin goes like we think it's going to go, then you're looking at MSTR probably being one of the, if not the wealthiest company in the world, because they have so much damn Bitcoin. The wealthiest company in the world. I mean, they have so much Bitcoin. The buy price was like, what wasn't it, like 28 something or 27 something? They've got over 50,000 Bitcoin, something like that, which is crazy because when Bitcoin initially started, you literally, they'd give you 100,000 Bitcoin for, $100 or even less. You remember the first Bitcoin transaction was 20,000 Bitcoins for a pizza. So they were literally giving this away for nothing. Now, all of a sudden, I mean, this is make or break or change your life type of amount of money. Yeah, but MSTR is 138,000 Bitcoin. Good Lord. Okay. 138,000 Bitcoin. Again, this is new age capital, man. And again, if Bitcoin continues to do what it's doing, then you're talking about, a company that can really go out there and buy out some competition, buy out some real hard, valuable assets with their money. And that's a good thing. And that's a good thing. Because they'll have to go out and use that Bitcoin, and there's nothing else to replace it. That's a good thing. Unlike FedCoin, which, this is going to be another money printing, fiat currency where you're just going to continue to lose value. It's going to be a product where you lose value. It's not going to be attached to anything. It's not going to be limited in any kind of supply. It's just going to be another fiat hustle that keeps us all stressed and working hard and harder and harder and harder for very little and little. It's the only reason why people are so stressed and sick and going on TikTok and crying their eyes out about how they can't do this anymore and can't live this life anymore. You only see that for the most part in these developing nations. You don't see people doing that in developing countries. It's only in the first world you see that kind of behavior. People jumping off bridges and killing themselves in forest and blowing their heads off in their office, jumping off. You only see that in first world nations. You are not going to see somebody doing that in Venezuela or some of these countries where people, they go years without a job. They go 3-4 years without a job in some of these other places, and they're okay. They're still eating. They're still breathing. They're still having families. They have more kids than you, and they laugh more than you. And yet, we're the people who have supposedly everything we need. And these people who have less than us and are more happier in basically every, study that has been created, people who live in some of these poor countries far happier, than some of us here in America, because we live again in a country where, Our currency is intentionally devalued. At least if you live in some of these developing countries, they're not intentionally trying to devalue your currency. It's just how it's set up. But in America, they intentionally devalue your currency to keep you moving, to keep you from being able to just to sit on your laurels and actually kind of look around and enjoy life. Nah, we're not going to do that. We gotta keep them moving. You know, it wasn't until I actually owned a home and I realized that I would never actually own it outright. I'd never actually own it outright. Yet I got cousins in the Congo. They bought the house and they'll never pay $1 of tax on that property ever again. The house is theirs, the land is theirs. There's no man that can knock on the door and say, "Give me some tax money." Yet here I am, going to slave for another 25 years on the note, pay that off, and still will have to pay property taxes. And if I don't pay that, I can still lose the house. Ain't that crazy? That's crazy. Nowhere else in the world, besides, again, developing nations, the developed first world, do you see that. You don't see anywhere else. And it's crazy because if they can print the money, why do we pay taxes if they can print the money? When it comes to Ukraine, they print the money. When it comes to, you know, the weapons of all this stuff, they print the money, but I gotta pay taxes. That's crazy. And people ask these questions and it's like, oh, well, that's just how it is. Nah, it shouldn't be like that. Maybe my questions are too deep, folks, but I'm just trying to figure out like how we can, you know, make this make sense for people, because as time goes on, people are starting to say, man, fuck all this. And it's only going to hurt all of us. People stop believing that they can make it in this country. People stop believing that you can actually be somebody. And I'm seeing firsthand. I'm seeing the dream kind of starting to go away for a lot of people. People are just saying, man, this is all, it's like a scam. And I know you've heard it, where people are starting to say the American dream is a scam. I'm starting to hear that a lot more. It's scary, man, when people start believing that, because then you start, falling into the hands of the Hitler types and the far left or far right, and you lose that middle ground. What's going on, Jeff? How you doing today? You just passed your prop firm challenge. I am a professional trader, and I'm so glad I have the skills to make money. Shout out to you, Jeff. Shout out to you. Are you willing to let us know the name of your prop firm, or at least like what you had to do? We've seen these prop challenges for a long time, particularly on YouTube, with some less than reputable characters. But I do believe that prop firms are legit, because most of them have been around. Well, not most of them, but a lot of them have been around for a very, very long time. If you've ever read the book Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, his name escapes me right now, but he made a lot of his money in prop firms. In fact, he would do so well in one and then get kicked out and go to another one and then travel to the other side of the country and join another one. So those were basically the 1950s, 60s versions of prop shops. So, and they're not going anywhere because they make money on the technology and servicing and a lot of that stuff. So those aren't going anywhere. It's a great business to be in, because for the person who manages the whole thing, there's really no downside for you. Because people go broke every all the time, and you just replace them with someone else. MYFF. I didn't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything there for that particular ticker. So with Dominion Energy. Yeah, this is another one, Dominion Energy. I was all the energy companies too, which is crazy because we just saw what was that ticker, that oil company that just went like to Pluto today. I think it was Occidental, right? Was it Occidental Petroleum? I think it was Occidental. Or was that a couple days ago? Oh, it was some oil company that just went crazy nuts today. I can't remember who it is. I know somebody in the ticker probably knows. Oh, okay, that's the name of the prop firm. Okay. My FF is a prop firm. Okay, so that's the name of it. And that's one of many, you know what I'm saying? That's one of many. That's one of many. You know, if you just type in prop firm, there are tons of them. Some in forex, some in um, stocks. Some do both. Some of them have some really great training. Some of them you can start in as little as $5,000. You know, but these places will get you started. Will get you started. You know, just be careful. You got to really know what you're doing, and you never want to go to these places as a beginner. So, you know, Jeff already was trading prior to, I'm sure, him going out there. So you can know what's the smart thing and what's not, because you don't want to be misled by anybody. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to care about your capital but you, the way you're going to care about it. You know, there's a lot of people out there that would just quickly take your money, and when you're broke, you're broke, and they'll show you the door. All right, so just a few more things to look at. And I'll let you guys go because I know some of you got to wake up early. GDX. I'm gonna start playing during the day some trading videos just to kind of get my numbers up, you know, while during the day. So you're not gonna see me on here, but you'll see my channel go live, and it'll just be like a trading video that I know nobody's going to report as stolen or anything like that, because the people behind it are not even active like that in terms of social media. So it won't be no like Tim Sykes shit or anything like that, but just some real underground old school stuff that like can really have you thinking about some things, you know? Yeah. Surge Trader, okay. All you have to do is pass the one-time challenge and you can find it. And you find that simple, but you do need skills. Yeah, okay. Absolutely. Um, who else was putting together a prop situation? There was a guy who was going viral for a couple of years. He had the Institute of Finance is the channel on YouTube. This, I mean, he was really popular a couple of years ago, and I felt like he didn't ride his wave good enough. Good enough. Um, but the channel's called Institute of Finance, and he made these videos like 10 things to, you know, finance professional, blah blah blah. Something like, I forgot his name. I'm not really good with that, but you guys know who the hell I'm talking about. He's got a really good channel and was sending people to do these trading seminars out in like South Africa or Brazil, or and what they would do is they would teach you how to trade properly, give you some money, and if you were really good, it'd bring you on to the team. They'd bring you on to the team. Institute of Finance is the channel. Anton, yes, there it is. That's his name. Anton Creel. Anton Creel. Yeah, good dude. Good dude. Comes off like an asshole on his channel, but people are very different in person than they are sometimes when they've got to be a taskmaster type of personality on TV, you know. But Anton Creel, yeah, he's another one, man. Cool, cool ass vibes on all the guys there because they all like live in like Singapore or some place in Asia where they're like banging a whole bunch of Asian chicks. You know what I'm saying? That's how a lot of these white boys get down when they start making money. They go out to Asia or something. You know what I'm saying? I live in Japan. Like, come on, man. I know what you're there for. You know what I'm saying? Game recognized game. I know what you're doing out there, but it's all good, man. You know what I mean? They're making their money, they're trading, living their life. You know what I'm saying? You can go out there and live that unmitigated male powerful life, you know, in places like that. No lady's gonna out there call you a disgusting misogynist or some crap like that, like you might hear, if you talk too loud. If you talk too loud, you know, which is crazy because, again, not to move back into that topic, but if we could end up in a situation where, we might have to step in for Taiwan, right? Because we saw this weekend China basically encircled Taiwan. Well, then the conversation goes, oh, toxic masculinity. Then it's going to start support the troops. These folks, they don't know what they want to do, man. They don't know what they want to do. That's why I'm saying, man, don't buy into this shit. Don't buy into this shit at all. And if shit buzz pop off, hey, look, man, those of you guys who are dumb enough to buy into it, good luck to you, man. Good luck to you. This will be the first world war where you can honestly say they ain't fighting for nothing, man. Y'all ain't fighting for nothing, man. You fighting for Walmart, you fighting for, Occidental Petroleum, you fighting for, Exxon. That's what you fighting for. I ain't fighting for Exxon. Troy Tolbert, let me answer your question, man. Coinbase, I like it. I love Coinbase, but I just feel like they could be a situation here with Coinbase where they may get rid of every damn coin they got except Bitcoin, and then you got a problem, man. Coinbase's business, they make money off the fact that their customers are going to want to buy Bitcoin and the other plethora of coins available. Now, let's say they've got to get rid of damn near 90% of those coins because 90% of those coins are basically securities, right? They were offered in a way that, the SEC would not approve of, or basically a security where, there was a certain percentage that was given to the founders, given to certain insiders. Then there was an offering, or what they called an airdrop, which is basically an offering. That's illegal. You can't do that. Okay? You cannot do that. So Coinbase is very, very susceptible to to a potential lawsuit here. And that's why you had their CEO on Twitter. You can go look on Twitter right now. He's begging, well, we went to you guys and we asked for regulation. We tried to see what the policies were. And, well, I mean, at the end of the day, if they didn't give you the regulation, why'd you guys move forward and dump all these shit coins on your, on your platform? Shit coins like Polygon, shit coins like, Doge, and all of these are all shit coins, man. Doge is a shit coin at the end of the day. You say you always laugh at people who go to Japan. I couldn't fuck with Japan, man. I ain't with these whole cartoons and all of that stuff. They be doing them weird ass cartoons with the like inflatable titties and shit. I mean, I don't get that, man. Looks long term consolidation. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, it just looks like very indecisive uh, trading, and that's something that I want to be a part of. I think you've just got better places to put your money. You got better places to put your money. Let's put a GDX. We've been talking about GDX here for the last couple of days. Again, gold looking really, really good. Okay, poor man's gold SLV. Again, looking good. Doing really good on again selling some puts here. I mean, yeah, selling puts here on SLV because it's holding very nicely. Gold and silver is holding very nicely for all of those guys who are credit based, who love those credit spreads. These are the places to be for those traders right now. Is Bitcoin the new gold? I think Bitcoin, is a type of gold, yes, but I think you still have a place for physical gold, particularly when we talk about trading wealth between nations. Yes, but I think Bitcoin is a version of that as well. But I think, yeah, you're going to have nations who are going to do business with each other in gold. I don't see Canada doing trade with Mexico in Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? But I could see them doing business in gold with each other. You know, but if I want to do business with you, and for example, I want to buy your home, you might ask me for Bitcoin. You might not want the Fed now coin. You know what I'm saying? You might not want that crap fiat. You might want Bitcoin. Should we look at shorting XLF and JPM? I think it looks like the trade to do. It looks like the trade to do right now. It does look like the trade to do right now. But mm, mm, mm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I would pull the trigger so far, so clearly on those. You know, I'll tell you what, a company out there that's a huge scam. If you want to talk about a scam, it's a company called Helen of Troy. This is. Let me not say it so adamantly before they sue me. I suspect to be just another large, money losing operation, Helen of Troy. Just one of those companies that sells private label products, uh, has companies that again just aren't doing so well. There's got definitely a lot of different private labels that they put out there on their products that they sell, toiletries, you know, you know, third rate appliances from China that are cheap plastic crap. And again, just do your research. There's a lot of papers that have already been written out on Helen of Troy, but it's one of those stocks it's going to significantly go a lot lower. So watch it, and see where it goes. But again, it's just one of those stocks that could very well continue to go lower and lower and lower and lower. And you're going to say, "Oh man, I wish I had, jumped into this." But there's a lot of meat still left on this thing. Would love to get a nice bounce so we can, kind of get repositioned over 100, which would be nice. But as you can see here, as it goes sideways right now, as it tries to maybe do, let me see the weekly on this one. Yeah, I mean it's just slowly walking its way down, you know. How can you verify how much gold a country has? I don't know if I mean obviously you just have to believe what they say, but one website that I use to look at country economic data is called Trading Economics. Just go to Google, type in Trading Economics. You can see all the data you want. I mean, I could spend hours on this site looking at everything from how much gold the country has, how much debt percentage of debt to GDP a country has. So much data on that website, Trading Economics. Looking into that. Great site. FCell. Let's take a look on that. Yeah, this is one of those companies that just has failed to deliver. It just failed to deliver, man, and just it's so sad because you know there was a lot of potential that was there. There's a lot of FUD, excuse me, not a FUD that was put out on FCell and just never developed. You know, just never developed. Yeah. And you got some companies that again, their business strategy, their business systems just aren't made to be publicly traded companies. You know, we talked about that on like company like Blue Apron. You know, these companies. It was Blue Apron was at one time a $40 billion food delivery company. This is a company that was stationed in a brick warehouse where they made pre-made food that you had to eat in like 7 days or it would go bad. And they were charging you the price of you know of a nice of a I won't say a nice but a decent meal at McDonald's per tray. It was expensive. They were losing money per customer. The acquisition cost was out of control. It was like 10 for $1. They were spending like $10 for every $1 it was taking to actually get a customer. And this company's still out here trading, still trying to do something. And it's they're going to go bankrupt eventually. They're going to go bankrupt. Yeah, yeah, I'll definitely be back Wednesday. I'm trying to get back into the habit of it, bro. Trust me, this ain't easy. I don't know how you ever trade Bitcoin before that one thing about Bitcoin. You need to find the perfect entry. I yeah, entries are important. Entries are important, but I think even with Bitcoin, it's not even really an entry as much as it's just like, hey, do you believe in the long term use case? As somebody brought up new gold, if you believe in the long term use case, then is it really matter if you buy it at 28 or 30,000? If you're holding it for 5 years, you know. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I want to keep you guys too late, and I don't want to be up late. So I appreciate you guys for joining me here on the show. Um, Great conversation. I'll be back Wednesday. I know the market is boring. Stay in it, folks. Stay in it, folks. This is where you make money, man. This is where you make money. I know it's not exciting. I know it's not just straight up. Buy Apple calls on Monday, sell them on Friday for 100% gain. It's not that kind of market anymore, but this is where if you figure it out, it's going to be so much easier for you to be able to make money, pull the trigger when, we get back to rallying, which we will. And, again, I'm not convinced that we'll just be staying in this area forever. But we could be here for some time, man. We could very well be here for some time, and it is what it is. Okay. And it is what it is. There's nothing absolutely wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Let me go ahead and thank you all you guys for joining me here today on the show. Great episode, a good hour and a half of conversation and talk. Did you learn something today? Whether or not you learned anything or not, just make sure you sign up to my Twitter, Terry Julian Show, Instagram, Terry Julian Show. Join me again live Wednesday night, same time, same place. And folks, trading is a lifestyle. Thank you so much. I heard in 6 months, the market will drop. Man, look, people have been saying that for the last 6 months. The market's going to drop. We're up. Again, QQQ's up 20% over 90 days. You know, look, nobody can predict the future, okay? No amount of technical analysis can remove all risk. I've literally looked at trades and they looked perfect. I mean, everything lined up and it still went against me. So nobody can tell the future, man. Just pull the trigger, set your stops, and whatever happens, happens. Tanvir Zadiki, appreciate you, man. Do I offer a monthly membership? No, I don't have any monthly membership here. Death Carmen, appreciate you. Every stock I buy, I plan on holding for 5 years. That's what's up. JT Slippin' Wolf, thank you, sir. Troy Tolbert, Jeff Santil, thank you so much, man. Good luck to you, Jeff, for what you're doing out there. Who else? Trading Jedi, King AJ, Blue Cousin. Who else was in here? Seba Brown. Dawson, thank you so much for stopping by, brother. Appreciate you. New user found. Adam Gergis. Alex Montez. And everybody else. Felix, appreciate you, man. Anybody else in here who was here and went to bed, I appreciate all of you guys. All right, join me next time here on Wednesday. And last but not least, tomorrow is another trading day. Trade well.